What's going on, you guys? So the Grand Tactician released a gameplay trailer, a pre-alpha gameplay trailer of a Battle of Chickamauga. Now, this is going to give us a look into how the tactical gameplay is going to be in this game. And let's take a look at it. It's very interesting. Oh, let's slow it out a little bit. All right, I'm going to increase that there. Ooh, in association with Lionheart. Love the maps in this game. They're so, and this is the order of battle that you have in the game. It's incredible. I really love. They mentioned this in the dev diary. Wow. As you can see, the animations here. Now, the one thing I wanted to mention is I love how they incorporated this, this old age map here and be able to zoom in and zoom out. So as you can see here, they zoomed. You have the tactical map here, right? The tactical gameplay map. And then if you zoom out far enough with your mouse, right, it will go to this. But this tactical map, as you can see, it's still live, right? You can see units move. I love that. That takes, oh man, that takes a lot of work to do that, and I really appreciate it. I love that it's just live like this, and then you could put in your orders and move units straight on that map. I might be able to fight entire battles just on that map because it's gonna be so awesome. Ooh, construct breastworks and trenches. So we get a nice little Petersburg thing going on, or Spotsylvania. So the graphics remind me of Scourge of War, which it's going to come in really handy for a lot of players because you don't have to have a tricked out gaming machine that costs $2,000 to $3,000. You can if you have a couple year old computer, you can still run this game. Oh wow, look at that resupply system. Go back to this real quick. I love how well, I kind of did it a little bit beforehand, but I love that it kind of gives you the supply system here, right? It kind of tells you which units are in supply, which are kind of not in supply. I guess the red is kind of you're cut off a little bit, and the ones that are in yellow are fully supplied. Yeah, because you can see 0%, and then you can see some units are at 80, 90%. I really love this. It gives you a lot of realism. Now, one really cool thing in this game is that they mentioned, I did an interview with this developer, that you can actually kind of, if you're the Union, right, and let's say you're at Savannah Church, which is closer to the top left, if you have forces there, you can kind of go around and kind of cut off these three red lines that are moving over to the Confederate forces. If you get in between that red line, those three red lines, and those Confederate troops that are in the middle of the map, you can cut off all supply going to that army. And if you cut off that supply, it's going to, definitely put you in a good spot to win that battle. Wow, that's beautiful. That's incredible. All right, guys. So my final thoughts on it. I honestly think this could be the best tactical game for a Civil War strategy game. Honestly, because and I know I'm making a bold claim there because you have ultimate games like Ultimate General Gettysburg, Ultimate General Civil War, which have an incredible tactical gameplay. But I feel this game being able to incorporate like that old style map, and then as well as you can kind of zoom in and kind of get like a Scourge of War kind of gameplay situation going on. It adds a lot more immersion, a lot more realism. The one real cool thing I love about this, and they mentioned this in a previous dev diary, is if you're fighting a Confederate unit, right? Like you're the Union, you're firing on them. You're not going to know how many casualties you inflicted on them, right? You'll get your own casualties that if you have 1,000 soldiers and you have 80 killed and 200 wounded, you'll get that. But you won't know how many forces of theirs are, how many troops they lost, because in reality you wouldn't, right? You're not going to like pause the battle and walk over there and say, hey, do you mind if I count how many soldiers you lost? No. And Ultimate General Civil War does that, which if you're playing the game is it's nice to know, it's but you lose some of that realism in there. And I really love that this game is putting that in there because it kind of makes you feel like an actual commander, that you're commanding the Union Army or whatever army you're commanding. Because if you were, Lee or Longstreet or Meade, you're not going to know how many casualties you inflicted. McClellan at Antietam didn't know how bad the Confederate Army was, so you're gonna be kind of put in those shoes. Like, do I push the attack? How many forces did I have? How many casualties did I inflict on them? I don't know. Do I throw all my cards on the table? Do I go all in, or do I kind of like be a little bit more reserved, be a little bit more like McClellan? So I really love that, and I would say my favorite takeaway from this is the fact that they're mixing that old style map with, the zoomed in feature where you can actually kind of get that feel of actually being, on the ground with the soldiers. So yeah, this game is going to be this game is definitely going to be one of the best or the best Civil War game ever made for the computer, I think. Because not only you have this tactical element, you're going to have an entire strategic element to this game, which is we haven't seen that yet, but it's going to be awesome, I think. All right, guys, that does it for this one. I will catch you guys in the next one. See you then.